running.
Hello and welcome to the Wonder Woman of Aviation podcast. We're here live at Oshkosh 2021 EA Adventure, and it's been an amazing journey. I have had the opportunity to meet some amazing women here. I just got done with an interview with WASP, and I'm here with the 99s. I'm here with, I have to look at the card, Mary and Corby. Corby is the president of the 99s, and Mary has an interesting story as well. She's part of the 99s, but she also has an organization, and I'm going to let her talk about her Girls in Flight organization. So tell me a little bit more about Girls in Flight, what that is. How do you help girls and women pursue a career in aviation?
Okay. Well, it started in 2011. My granddaughter turned 16 and was getting into aviation, and I realized that nothing in the industry had changed from the time when I was that age. So I said, somebody's got to do something, be very careful about walking past mirrors. And so then I figured out who somebody was. So I created my foundation, number one, to find out what are the roadblocks that these women are facing. Okay, and so we have a lot of roadblocks, the disrespect, the overt and covert discrimination, and then internally our fears and our confidence issues. So I can help women certainly overcome the fear and the confidence issues. And then I can give them the tools to deal with the external things if they encounter those. But so my thing is trying to, like I said, 1 week a year, all female students come to me in Vernon, Texas, and we basically give them flying lessons. I teach ground school at no charge, and then the airplanes are essentially $100 an hour, and my instructors donate their time. We've started expanding it, so now we're doing an event in Sheboygan, Wisconsin each year. I'll be doing an event in Frederick, Maryland next month. So we're starting to hopefully make these become more, just more events and more places so we can reach out to more women. And so I call it the Gift Academy Girls in Flight Training, girls as opposed to boys. So I say girls because the acronym GIFT, because it's a gift of my time, and the other instructors who participate. So girls in flight training, basically they have to be 18 and over to come to me because just the chaperone and the liability issues, but 18 to 80 is kind of our range. They say it's never too late, and I agree with that unless dementia has set in. Once dementia sets in, it is too late, sorry. Sorry.
When I walked up, I love what you said. You said, no men allowed, but they're allowed in the kitchen. So I absolutely love your personality. I love what you stand for. So 18 and above is the age range. Okay. And
if you want to find out more, they can go into girlsinflight.org is our website.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time and teaching me more about your Girls in Flight. I'm going to come over here and pan over to Corby. Double interview. Corby, you are the president of the 99s. Tell me a little bit more about the 99s. I know it's probably a loaded question, but if someone outside looking in who's not really familiar with aviation wants to know, they see this sign, 99s, what is 99s? What do they stand for?
It's a great question. It's one I thought the 99s, that was a stupid name until I learned the history of it. In 1929, air races were huge. They were bigger than the Super Bowl. Tens and hundreds of thousands of people would go to the air races to watch this new thing, this airplanes flying across the country. And the women wanted to fly in it, and the men said, nope, women cannot do this. It's too dangerous. And the women got together and eventually convinced them, let us do it. Amelia Earhart was one of them, and she had just completed her across the Atlantic flight as a passenger, and a big name. So the men said, okay, we want Amelia in it, so we'll let her do it, and we'll let the other women. So the women finally did the air race, and at the end of the race, they said, my goodness, we worked together and made this happen. We probably need to have an organization, and we need to support each other, network. And so the 99 started. We gathered in November of 1929, and what are we going to call ourselves? They came up with a lot of different names, and then finally said, let's send out an invitation to all the licensed women pilots, and however many join by a certain date, that's what we're going to call ourselves. Now, at the time, there were only 117 licensed women pilots, and by the time the deadline came, 99 had joined, and that's why we're called the 99s, to recognize those charter members. And at that time, women, they weren't supposed to be pilots. They broke the rules. They stuck their necks out. They became pioneers. They're our leaders, and so we honor them with the name of our organization.
Wow, it's an amazing story. I think I did read a little bit about that. And a common theme is a lot of the women back in the day, they were just breaking down barriers, and maybe they just grew tired. Like, I want to fly, I want to do something. So I think that's great. That's an amazing story. I do have a question regarding then and now. So we do have an increase in female pilots and women in aviation, but why do you think, or what can we do to continue down that path of increasing those numbers?
Well, we have to have role models. We have to introduce aviation to young people, boys and girls. If you can see a role model that looks like you, then you realize, oh my goodness, I can do that. We have to expose girls to aviation. And not just the girls, the boys too, the younger women. Let them know they can do it. Let them understand the possibilities, the options out there in aviation. You don't have to be an airline pilot. You can fly just for the fun of it. But you could fly for a cargo company. You can do charter flying. You could fly banner towing. You could do crop dusting and firefighting, air bombing with the fires to put them out. There's so many things you can do, and we have to let our women know that they can do with that.
And for those that are interested in the 99s or want to become a member of the 99s, how can they find that information, or what do they need to do to become a part of it?
All they have to do is look us up online, the 99s, put in women pilots. That makes it come up right there for you. If you're a student pilot, a female student pilot, you can join. Just fill out the application and jump right in. We do a lot of really great things, a lot of charitable things. We do aviation education for young people. We introduce flying to people of all ages. We work at airports. We put banners out and air markings. We do safety seminars, tons of education and pilot programs, and we have a good time. We have a great time. We support each other. We are around the world. We have over 6,300 members, and we network, we support, and we have lots of scholarships that we provide. Our members have invested in to help each other advance in our aviation career, whatever that career is, even as just flying for the fun of it.
Well, that's amazing, Corby. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for coming to Oshkosh. I've seen you in the past, but I finally found the courage to just go and do it and say hi and do my little interview, so thank you. Thank you for joining us on the Wonder Woman of Aviation, sponsored by Patrick McAlee Air Shows of Extreme Flight. Thank you.